from the book The Dead Sea Scrolls, comprehensive translation of the controversial ancient scrolls with material never before published or translated, including the most recently released text, translated with commentary by Michael Wise, Martin Abegg Jr., and Edward Cook. (1996) and 2005. From this book, we're going to take a look at the segment of the War Scroll on page 146. The War Scroll document or manuscript, known as 1QM 4Q 491 to 496. We open with the following. Armageddon, the war to end all wars. These words stir up images of inevitable conflict, the final focus on the dark side of human nature, the ultimate catharsis that ushers in an age of peace. All of these issues come to a head in the War Scroll, a text that describes the eschatological last battle in gory detail, as righteousness is fully victorious and evil is forever destroyed. This vivid account gives us insights into how, at about the time of Jesus, some Jews conceived of Armageddon. The first lines of the scroll, 1QM 1, verses 1 to 7, lay the framework for a three-stage conflict between the sons of light, that is, members of the Yahad, see 1QS 3:13, text 7, and the sons of darkness. Now, you make of that what you will. Continuing. The first battle finds the adversaries led by the Kittim of Assyria. Although the name Kittim is most often used in the scrolls as a reference to the Romans, its basic sense seems to have been archetypical, bad guys. The Kittim of Assyria come in alliance with the biblical enemies Edom, Moab, Ammon, and Philistia, cooperating with this unholy allegiance. Cooperating with this unholy alliance are the violators of the covenant, Jews who had spurned the message of the Yahad, and in so doing aligned themselves with the sons of darkness. This reference, personal note, to a deviation away from the Yahad could be, I will not insist that it is, could be not a deliberate distraction, but a distraction indeed, in the sense that it's trying to identify a specific group that these apparent sons of darkness were deviating from as far as their law. But it would, the perspective changes if you consider the idea of Jewish people at the time impressed and affected by Hellenistic civilization as well as the Romans, were simply turning away from the Mosaic Law. If they said that, you know what I mean? There would be no mystery about this, right? You know? And to take it further, I dare say that it would not be such a stretch to adopt such an idea, since the basis of the scripture beforehand was through the prophets, based upon that. about addressing the people for turning away, as Jeremiah says several times in his rantings against the people, turning away from the law, God's law. And even in the English translations, we specifically read the words law. Whose law? What law? Anyway, I don't want to get carried away. The second stage expands the war's influence to the Kittim who dwelt in Egypt, and then finally to the kings of the north. Although this war is said to extend over 40 years, the writer of the scroll was particularly concerned with the details of the very final day of battle. After 6 bloody engagements during this last battle, the sons of light and sons of darkness are deadlocked in a 3-3 tie. In the 7th and final confrontation, the great hand of God shall overcome Belial and Al, the angels of his dominion, and all the men of his forces shall be destroyed forever. 1 QM 1, verses 14 to 15. Along the way, in true apocalyptic fashion, the scroll goes into elaborate detail concerning the battle trumpets. 2:15 to 3:11. Banners. 3:12, 5:2. And operational matters. 5:3 and 9:16. Then turning to the liturgical priestly prayers for the various phases of the conflict are recorded. 9:17, 15:3. Finally, the 7 savage engagements of the final day of battle are detailed. 15:4 to 18:8, culminating in a ceremony of thanksgiving on the day following the victory. 18:10 to 19:14. As with biblical representatives of apocalyptic literature, Ezekiel 38 and 39 and the Revelation to John as pertinent examples, one can easily lose sight of the primary purpose of the work. It is not to be found in the intricate and often mysterious details of the text. Rather, the author was concerned with the tribulation and hopelessness that his readers were currently experiencing. He built his encouragement on a biblical theology of rescue, the defeat of Goliath at the hand of David. 1 QM 11, verses 1 and 2. And Pharaoh and the officers of his chariots at the Red Sea. 11:9 to 10. Coupled with this aspect was his understanding that great suffering was part of God's will for the redeemed. Indeed, God's crucible. 17, verse 9. Was seen as a necessary component of human existence, so long as evil continued to exist in the world. Ultimately, God's purpose was to exalt the sons of light and to judge the sons of darkness. The message is one of hope. In the face of such perverse evil, the sons of light are encouraged to persevere to the end. God was preparing to intervene and bring a permanent solution for the problem of evil. The scroll itself is one of the first 7 texts found in the Bedouin in 1947. 19 columns of text are preserved, lacking only a few lines at the bottom edge and the final page or pages of the composition. See text 63. Although 6 additional manuscripts were found 7 years later in Cave 4, 4Q 491 to 496, they are only moderately helpful in reconstructing the missing portions of 1QM. The description of the eschatological war. COL.1. For the instructor, the rule of the war, the first attack of the sons of light shall be undertaken against the forces of the sons of darkness, the army of Belial, the troops of Edom, Moab, the sons of Ammon, the Amalekites, Philistia, and the troops of the Kittim of Assyria. Supporting them are those who have violated the covenant, the sons of Levi, the sons of Judah, and the sons of Benjamin. Those exiled to the wilderness shall fight against them with, there is a blank here, missing piece of scripture, against all their troops, when the exiles of the sons of light return from the wilderness of the peoples to camp in the wilderness of Jerusalem. Then after the battle they shall go up from that place, and the king of the Kittim shall enter into Egypt. In his time he shall go forth with great wrath to do battle against the kings of the north, and in his anger he shall set out to destroy and eliminate the strength of Israel. Then there shall be a time of salvation for the people of God, and time of dominion for all the men of his forces, and eternal annihilation for all the forces of Belial. There shall be great panic among the sons of Japheth. Assyria shall fall, with no one to come to his aid, and the supremacy of the Kittim shall cease, that wickedness be overcome with a remnant. There shall be no survivors of all sons of darkness. Then the sons of righteousness shall shine to all ends of the world, continuing to shine forth until the end of the appointed seasons of darkness. Then at the time appointed by God, his great excellence shall shine for all the times of eternity, for peace and blessing, glory and joy, and long life for all sons of light. Then the sons of righteousness shall shine to all ends of the world, continuing to shine forth until the end of the appointed seasons of darkness. Then at the time appointed by God, his great excellence shall shine for all the times of eternity, for peace and blessing, glory and joy, and long life for all sons of light. On the day when the Kittim fall, there shall be a battle and horrible carnage before the God of Israel. And it is a day appointed by him from ancient times as a battle of annihilation for the sons of darkness. On that day, the congregation of the gods and the congregation of men shall engage one another, resulting in great carnage. The sons of light and the forces of darkness shall fight together to show the strength of God with the roar of a great multitude and the shout of gods and men. A day of disaster. It is a time of distress for all the people who are redeemed by God. In all their afflictions, none exist that is like it, hastening to its completion as an eternal redemption. On the day of their battle against the Kittim, they shall go forth for carnage in battle. In 3 lots the sons of light shall stand firm, so as to strike a blow at wickedness. And in 3 the army of Belial shall strengthen themselves, so as to force the retreat of the forces of light. And when the banners of the infantry cause their hearts to melt, then the might of God will strengthen the hearts of the sons of light. In the 7th lot, the great hand of God shall overcome Belial and all the angels of his dominion, and all the men of his forces shall be destroyed forever. The annihilation of the sons of darkness and service to God during the war years. There's a blank piece of scripture here, followed by, the holy ones shall shine forth in support of blank scripture, the truth for the annihilation of the sons of darkness, then blank, blank, a great roar, blank, they shall hold of the implements of war, blank, blank, chiefs of the tribes, and the priests. The Levites, the chiefs of the tribes, the fathers of the congregation, the priest, and thus for the Levites, and the courses of the heads of COL.2, 1. The congregation's clans. I imagine the COL stands for column. Like if you look at a Torah scroll, like column 1, column, you know what I mean? So, whatever. I could be wrong about that. If you know what that means specifically, please comment by all means. Anyway, column dot 2. The congregation's clans, 52. They shall rank the chiefs of the priests after the chief priest and his deputy. 12 chief priests to serve in the regular offering before God. The chiefs of the courses, 26, shall serve in the courses. After them, the chiefs of the Levites serve continually, 12 in all, 1 to a tribe. The chiefs of their courses shall serve each man in his office. The chiefs of the tribes and fathers of the congregation shall support them, taking their stand continually at the gates of the sanctuary. The chiefs of their courses, from the age of 50 upwards, shall take their stand with their commissioners on their festivals, new moons and Sabbaths, and on all days of the year. These shall take their stand at the burnt offerings and sacrifices to arrange the sweet-smelling incense according to the will of God, to atone for all his congregation, and to satisfy themselves before him continually at the table of glory. All of these they shall arrange at the time of the year of remission. During the remaining 33 years of the war, the men of renown, those called of the congregation, and all the heads of the congregation's clans shall choose for themselves men of war for all the lands of the nations. From all the tribes of Israel they shall prepare capable men for themselves to go out for battle according to the summons of the war, year by year. But during the years of remission they shall not ready men to go out for battle, for it is a Sabbath of rest for Israel. During the 35 years of service the war shall be waged. For 6 years the whole congregation shall wage it together, and a war of divisions shall be waged during the 29 remaining years. In the first year they shall fight against Aram Naharaim, Mesopotamia, in brackets. In the second, against the sons of Lud. In the third, they shall fight against the rest of the sons of Aram, Uz, Hul, Togar, and Mesha, who are beyond the Euphrates. In the fourth and fifth they shall fight against the sons of Arpachshad. In the sixth and seventh they shall fight against the sons of Assyria and Persia, and the Easterners up to the great desert. In the 8th year they shall fight against the sons of Elam. In the 9th year they shall fight against the sons of Ishmael and Keturah, and during the following 10 years the war shall be divided against all the sons of Ham, according to their clans and their territories. During the remaining 10 years the war shall be divided against all the sons of Japheth, according to their territories. Blank portion, blank word in the scripture. Continuing. The description of trumpets. The rule of the trumpets of alarm for all their service for the blank, for their commissioned men, by tens of thousands and hundreds and fifties, the tens, upon the trumpets, blank, which, blank, blank, they shall write the trumpets of the battle formations, which continues on Column 3, the battle formations and the trumpets. So, yeah, let's just extend that. They shall write the trumpets of the battle formations and trumpets for assembling them when the gates of the war are opened, so that the infantry might advance, the trumpets for the signal of the slain, the trumpets of the ambush, the trumpets of pursuit when the enemy is defeated, and the trumpets of reassembly when the battle returns. On the trumpets for the assembly of the congregation they shall write the called of God. On the trumpets for the assembly of the chiefs they shall write the princes of God. On the trumpets of the formations they shall write the rule of God. On the trumpets of the men of renown they shall write the heads of the congregation's clans. When they are assembled at the house of meeting, they shall write the testimonies of God for a holy congregation. On the trumpets of the camps they shall write the peace of God in the camps of his holy ones. On the trumpets for their campaigns they shall write the mighty deeds of God, to scatter the enemy and to put all those who hate justice to flight, and a withdrawal of mercy from all who hate God. On the trumpets of the battle formations they shall write formations of the divisions of God, to avenge his anger on all sons of darkness. On the trumpets for assembling the infantry when the gates of war open, that they might go out against the battle line of the enemy, they shall write a remembrance of requital at the appointed time of God. On the trumpets of the slain they shall write the hand of the might of God in battle, so as to bring down all the slain because of unfaithfulness. On the trumpets of ambush they shall write mysteries of God, to wipe out wickedness. On the trumpets of pursuit they shall write God has struck all sons of darkness. He shall not abate his anger until they are annihilated. When they return from battle to enter the formation, they shall write on the trumpets of retreat God has gathered. On the trumpets for the way of return from battle with the enemy to enter the congregation in Jerusalem, they shall write rejoicings of God in a peaceful return. The description of the banners. The rule of the banners of the whole congregation according to their formations. On the grand banner, which is at the head of all the people, they shall write people of God, the names of Israel, and Aaron, and the names of the 12 tribes of Israel, according to their order of birth. On the banners of the heads of the camps of the 3 tribes, they shall write the Spirit of God, and the names of the 3 tribes. On the standard of the tribe they shall write the standard of God, and the name of the prince of the tribe of its clans, and the name of the prince of the 10,000, and the names of the chiefs of blank, blank, his hundreds. On the banner, blank, blank, column 4, on the banner of Merari they shall write the offering of God, and the name of the prince of Merari, and the names of the chiefs of his thousands. On the banner of the though us, and they shall write the anger of God is loosed against Belial, and all the men of his forces without remnant, and the name of the chief of the 1,000, and the names of the chiefs of his hundreds. And on the banner of the 100 they shall write 100 of God, the power of war against all sinful flesh, and the name of the chief of the 100, and the names of the chiefs of his tens. And on the banner of the 50 they shall write, ended is the stand of the wicked by the might of God, and the name of the chief of the 50, and the names of the chiefs of his tens. And on the banner of the 10 they shall write songs of joy for God on the 10-stringed harp, and the name of the chief of the 10, and the names of the 9 men in his command. When they go to battle, they shall write on the banners the truth of God, the righteousness of God, the glory of God, the justice of God, and after these the list of their names in full. When they draw near for battle, they shall write on their banners the right hand of God, the appointed time of God, the tumult of God, the slain of God, after their names in full. When they return from battle, they shall write on their banners the exaltation of God, the greatness of God, the praise of God, the glory of God, with their names in full. The rule of the banners of the congregation, when they set out to battle, they shall write on the first banner the congregation of God, on the second banner the camps of God, on the third the tribes of God, on the fourth the clans of God, on the fifth the divisions of God, on the sixth the assembly of God, on the seventh those called by God, and on the eighth the army of God. They shall write their names in full, with all their order. When they draw near for battle, they shall write on their banners the battle of God, the recompense of God, the cause of God, the reprisal of God, the power of God, the retribution of God, the might of God, the annihilation by God of all the vainglorious nations. And their names in full they shall write upon them. When they return from battle, they shall write on their banners the deliverance of God, the victory of God, the help of God, the support of God, the joy of God, the thanksgivings of God, the praise of God, and the peace of God. The length of the banners, the banner of the whole congregation shall be 14 cubits long, the banner of 3 tribes 13 cubits long, the banner of a tribe 12 cubits, the banner of 10,000 11 cubits, the banner of 1,010 cubits, the banner of 100 9 cubits, the banner of 50 8 cubits, the banner of 10 7 cubits, blank, blank. The description of the shields. The rule of the shields, blank, followed by blank. Column 5 begins. And on the shields of the prince of the whole congregation, they shall write his name, the names Israel, Levi, and Aaron, and the names of the 12 tribes of Israel according to their order of birth, and the names of the 12 chiefs of their tribes. The description of the arming and deployment of the divisions. The rule for arranging the divisions for war. When their army is complete to make a forward battle line, the battle line shall be formed of 1,000 men. There shall be 7 forward rows to each battle line, arranged in order, the station of each man behind his fellow. All of them shall bear shields of bronze, polished like a face mirror. The shield shall be bound with a border of plated work, and a design of loops, the work of a skillful workman, gold, silver, and bronze, bound together, and jewels, a multicolored brocade. It is the work of a skillful workman, artistically done. The length of the shield shall be 2.5 cubits, and its breadth 1 cubit and a half. In their hands they shall hold a lance and a sword. The length of the lance shall be 7 cubits, of which the socket and the blade comprise half a cubit. On the socket there shall be 3 bands engraved as a border of plated work of gold, silver, and copper bound together, like an artistically designed work. And in the loops of the design, on both sides of the band, all around shall be precious stones, a multicolored brocade the work of a skillful workman, artistically done, and an ear of grain. The socket shall be grooved between the bands like a column artistically done. The blade shall be of shining white iron, the work of a skillful workman, artistically done, and an ear of grain of pure gold inlaid in the blade, tapered toward the point. The swords shall be of refined iron, purified in the furnace, and polished like a face mirror, the work of a skillful workman, artistically done, with figures of ears of grain, of pure gold embossed on both sides. The border shall go straight to the point, 2 on each side. The length of the sword shall be a cubit and a half, and its width 4 fingers. The scabbard shall be 4 thumbs wide, and 4 handbreadths up to the scabbard. The scabbard shall be tied on either side with thongs of 5 handbreadths. The handle of the sword shall be of choice horn, the work of a skillful workman, a varicolored design with gold and silver and precious stones. And when the blank stand, they shall arrange 7 battle lines, one behind the other, and there shall be a space between blank 30 cubits, where the infantry shall stand, blank forward, blank, 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 picking up in column 6, 7 times and return to their position. After them 3 divisions of infantry shall advance and stand between the battle lines. The first division shall heave into the enemy battle line 7 battle darts. On the blade of the first dart they shall write, "Flash of a spear for the strength of God." On the second weapon they shall write, "Missiles of blood to fell the slain by the wrath of God." On the third dart they shall write, "The blade of a sword devours the slain of wickedness by the judgment of God." Each of these they shall throw 7 times, and then return to their position. After these 2 divisions of infantry shall march forth and stand between the 2 battle lines, the first division equipped with a spear and a shield, and the second division with a shield and a sword, to bring down the slain by the judgment of God, to subdue the battle line of the enemy by the power of God, and to render recompense to all the vainglorious nations for their evil. So the kingship shall belong to the God of Israel, and by the holy ones of his people he shall act powerfully. The description of the deployment of the cavalry. 7 rows of horsemen shall also take position at the right and at the left of the battle line. Their rows shall be positioned on both sides, 700 horsemen on one side and 700 on the other. 200 horsemen shall go out with 1,000 men of the battle line of the infantry, and thus they shall take positions on all sides of the camp, the total being 4,600 men and 1,400 cavalry for the entire army arranged for the battle line, 50 for each battle line. The horsemen with the cavalry of the men of the entire army will be 6,000, 500 to a tribe. All the cavalry that go out to battle with the infantry shall ride stallions, swift, responsive, unrelenting, full-grown, trained for battle, and accustomed to hearing noises and seeing all kinds of scenes. Those who ride them shall be men capable in battle, trained in horsemanship, the range of their age from 30 to 45 years. The horsemen of the army shall be from 40 to 50 years old, and they, helmets and greaves, carrying in their hands round shields and a lance 8 cubits long, and a bow, and arrows, and battle darts, all of them prepared in and to shed the blood of their guilty slain. These are the recruitment and age of the soldiers. Blank. Column 7 begins. And the men of the army shall be from 40 to 50 years old. The commissioners of the camps shall be from 50 to 60 years old. The officers shall also be from 40 to 50 years old. All those who strip the slain, plunder the spoil, cleanse the land, guard the arms, and he who prepares the provisions, all these shall be from 25 to 30 years old. No youth nor woman shall enter their encampments from the time they leave from Jerusalem to go to battle until their return. No one crippled, blind, or lame, nor a man who has a permanent blemish on his skin, or a man affected with ritual uncleanness of his flesh. None of these shall go with them to battle. All of them shall be volunteers for battle, pure of spirit and flesh, and prepared for the day of vengeance. Any man who is not ritually clean in respect to his genitals on the day of battle shall not go down with them into battle, for holy angels are present with their army. There shall be a space between all their camps and the latrine of about 2,000 cubits, and no shameful nakedness shall be seen in the environs of all their camps. The ministry of the priests and Levites. When the battle lines are arranged against the enemy, battle line against battle line, there shall go forth from the middle opening into the space between the battle lines 7 priests of the sons of Aaron, dressed in fine white linen garments, a linen tunic and linen breeches, and girded with a linen sash of twined fine linen violet, purple and crimson, and a vari-colored design, the work of a skillful workman, and decorated caps on their heads, the garments for battle, and they shall not take them into the sanctuary. The one priest shall walk before all of the men of the battle line to strengthen their hands for battle. In the hands of the remaining 6 shall be the trumpets of assembly, the trumpets of memorial, the trumpets of the alarm, the trumpets of pursuit, and the trumpets of reassembly. When the priests go out into the space between the battle lines, 7 Levites shall go out with them. In their hands shall be 7 trumpets of ram's horns. 3 officers from among the Levites shall walk before the priests and the Levites. The priest shall blow the 2 trumpets of assembly of battle upon 50 shields, and 50 infantrymen shall go out from the one gate, and blank, Levites officers with each battle line, they shall go out according to all this order, blank, men of the infantry from the gates, and they shall take position on between the 2 battle lines, and blank, the battle, blank. Column 8 begins. The trumpets shall blow continually to direct the slingmen until they have completed hurling 7 times. Afterwards the priest shall blow on the trumpets of return, and they shall go along the side of the first battle line to take their position. The priest shall blow on the trumpets of assembly, and the 3 divisions of infantry shall go out from the gates and stand between the battle lines, and beside them the cavalrymen, at the right and at the left. The priest shall blow on their trumpets, a level note, signals for the order of battle, and the columns shall be deployed into their formations, each to his position. When they have positioned themselves in 3 formations, the priest shall blow for them a second signal, a low legato note, signals for advance until they draw near to the battle line of the enemy and take hold of their weapons. Then the priest shall blow on the 6 trumpets of the slain a sharp staccato note to direct the battle, and the Levites and all the people with ram's horns shall blow a great battle alarm together in order to melt the heart of the enemy. With the sound of the alarm, the battle darts shall fly out to bring down the slain. Then the sound of the ram's horns shall quiet, but on the trumpets the priest shall continue to blow a sharp staccato note to direct the signals of battle until they have hurled into the battle line of the enemy 7 times. Afterwards the priest shall blow for them the trumpets of retreat, a low note, level, and legato. According to this rule, the priest shall blow for the 3 divisions. When the first division throws, the priests and the Levites and all the people with ram's horns shall blow a great alarm to direct the battle until they have hurled 7 times. Afterwards, the priest shall blow for them on the trumpets of retreat, and they shall take their stand in their positions in the battle line, blank, and shall take up position, blank. The slain and all the people with ram's horns shall blow a very loud battle alarm, and as the sound goes out, column 9 begins, their hands shall begin to bring down the slain, and all the people shall quiet the sound of alarm, but the priest shall continue sounding on the trumpets of the slain to direct the fighting until the enemy are defeated and turn in retreat. The priest shall blow the alarm to direct the battle, and when they have been defeated before them, the priest shall blow the trumpets of assembly, and all the infantry shall go out to them from the midst of the front battle lines, and stand 6 divisions in addition to the division which is engaged in battle. Altogether 7 battle lines, 28,000 soldiers, and 6,000 horsemen. All these shall pursue in order to destroy the enemy in God's battle, a total annihilation. The priest shall blow for them the trumpets of pursuit, and they shall divide themselves for a pursuit of annihilation against all the enemy. The cavalry shall push the enemy back at the flanks of the battle until they are destroyed. When the slain have fallen, the priest shall continue blowing from afar, and shall not enter into the midst of the slain so as to be defiled by their unclean blood, for they are holy. They shall not allow the oil of their priestly anointment to be profaned with the blood of vainglorious nations. The description of the maneuvers of the battle divisions. Rule for changing the order of the battle divisions in order to arrange their position against blank, a pincer movement and towers, an arc and towers, and as it draws slowly forward, then the columns and the flanks go out from the 2 sides of the battle line, that the enemy might become discouraged. The shields of the soldiers of the towers shall be 3 cubits long, and their lances 8 cubits long. The towers shall go out from the battle line with 100 shields on a side, for they shall surround the tower on the 3 frontal sides, 300 shields in all. There shall be 2 gates to a tower, one on the right and one on the left. Upon all the shields of the tower soldiers they shall write, on the first, Michael, on the second, Gabriel, on the third, Sariel, and on the fourth, Raphael. Michael and Gabriel on the right, and Sariel and Raphael on the left, and blank. For to the 4 blank they shall establish an ambush for the battle line of blank and blank. They shall fall on the slain. The address of the chief priest. The address of the chief priest. Blank. Column 10 begins. of our camps, and to keep ourselves from any shameful nakedness. And he, Moses, in brackets, told us that you are in our midst, a great and awesome God, plundering all of our enemies before us. He taught us from of old through all our generations, saying, when you approach the battle, the priest shall stand and speak unto the people, saying, Hear, O Israel, you are approaching the battle against your enemies today. Do not be afraid nor faint-hearted. Do not tremble. No, nor be terrified because of them. For your God goes with you to fight for you against your enemies and to save you. Deuteronomy 20, verses 3 to 4. Our officers shall speak to all those prepared for battle, those willing of heart to strengthen them by the might of God, to turn back all who have lost heart, and to strengthen all the valiant warriors together. They shall recount that which you spoke by the hand of Moses, saying, And when there is a war in your land against the adversary who attacks you, then you shall sound an alarm with the trumpets, and you will be remembered before your God, and be saved from your enemies. Numbers 10, verse 9. Who is like you, O God of Israel, in heaven and on earth, that he can do according to your great works and your great strength? The prayer of the chief priest. Who is like your people, Israel, whom you have chosen for yourself from all the peoples of the lands, the people of the holy ones of the covenant, learned in the statutes, enlightened in understanding, those who hear the glorious voice and see the holy angels, whose ears are open, hearing deep things. O God, you have created the expanse of the skies, the most of luminaries, the task of spirits. O God, you have created the expanse of the skies, the host of luminaries, the task of spirits, and the dominion of holy ones, the treasures of your glory. Clouds. He who created the earth and the limits of her divisions into wilderness and plain, and all her offspring with the fruits. The circle of the seas, the sources of the rivers, and the rift of the deeps. Wild beast and winged creatures, the form of man, and the generations of his seed. The confusion of language and the separation of peoples, the abode of clans, and the inheritance of the lands, and holy festivals, courses of years, and times of eternity. Blank. These know from your understanding, which, blank, blank, your ears to cry for blank, blank, his house, blank, blank. Column 11 begins. Truly the battle is yours, and by the strength of your hand their corpses have been dashed to pieces so that no one can bury them. Indeed, Goliath, the Gittite, a mighty warrior, you delivered into the hands of David, your servant, because he trusted in your great name and not in sword and spear, for the battle is yours. He subdued the Philistines many times by your holy name, also by the hand of our kings. You rescued us many times because of your mercy, not according to our works, for we have acted wickedly, nor for the acts of our rebelliousness. The battle is yours, the strength is from you. It is not our own. Neither our power nor the strength of our hand have done valiantly, but by your power and the strength of your great valor. Just as you told us in time past, saying, There shall come forth a star from Jacob, a scepter shall rise out of Israel, and shall crush the forehead of Moab, and tear down all sons of Sheth, and he shall descend from Jacob, and shall destroy the remnant from the city, and the enemy shall be a possession, and Israel shall do valiantly. Numbers 24, verse 17, 19, 18a and c. By the hand of your anointed ones, seers of things appointed, you have told us about the times of the wars of your hands, in order that you may fight, glorify yourself amongst our enemies, to bring down the hordes of Belial, the 7 vainglorious nations, at the hand of the oppressed, whom you have redeemed with power and by retribution, or with peace, a wondrous strength. A heart that melts shall be as a door of hope. You will do to them as you did to Pharaoh, and the officers of his chariots in the Red Sea. You will ignite the humble of spirit like a fiery torch put to the sheet, consuming the wicked. You shall not turn back until the annihilation of the guilty. In time past, you foretold the appointed time for your hands' powerful work against the Kittim, saying, And Assyria shall fall by the sword not of man, and a sword not of men shall consume him. Isaiah 31, verse 8. For into the hand of the oppressed you shall, for in the hand of the oppressed you will deliver the enemies of all the lands, into the hands of those who are prostrate in the dust, in order to bring down all mighty men of the peoples, to return recompense of the wicked on the head of blank, to pronounce the just judgment of your truth on all humankind, and to make for yourself an everlasting name among the people, blank the wars, and to show yourself great and holy before the remnant of the nations, so that they may know that blank when you carry out judgments on Gog. Ezekiel 39, verse 11, and on all his company that are assembled about us. Blank, for you will do battle against them from the heavens. Blank, upon them for confusion. Blank, blank. Column 12 begins. For you have a multitude of holy ones in the heavens, and hosts of angels in your holy abode, to praise your truth. The chosen ones of the holy people, you have established for yourself in a community the number, or the book, of the names of all their hosts is with you in your holy dwelling, and the number of the holy ones is in the abode of your glory. The mercies of your blessing and your covenant of peace you engraved for them with a stylus of life, in order to reign over them for all time, commissioning the host of your elect by their thousands and tens of thousands, together with your holy ones and your angels, and directing them in battle, so as to condemn the earthly adversaries by trial of your judgments. With the elect of heaven they shall prevail. And you, O God, are awesome in the glory of your dominion, and the company of your holy ones is in our midst for eternal support. We shall direct our contempt at kings' derision, and disdain at mighty men. For the Lord is holy, and the King of glory is with us together with the holy ones. Mighty men and a host of angels are with our commissioned forces. The hero of war is with our company, and the host of his spirits is with our steps. Our horsemen are as the clouds, and as the mist covering the earth, and as a steady downpour shedding judgment on all her offspring. Rise up, O hero. Take your captives, O glorious one, take your plunder, O you who do valiantly. Lay your hand upon the neck of your enemies and your foot upon the backs of the slain. Crush the nations, your adversaries, and may your sword devour guilty flesh. Fill your land with glory, and your inheritance with blessing, an abundance of cattle in your fields, silver, gold, and precious stones in your palaces. O Zion, rejoice greatly, and shine with joyful songs, O Jerusalem. Rejoice, all you cities of Judah, open your gates forever, that the wealth of the nations might be brought to you, and their kings might serve you. All those who oppressed you shall bow down to you, and the dust of your feet they shall lick. O daughters of my people, shout out with a voice of joy, adorn yourselves with ornaments of glory. Rule over the kingdom of the blank, and I and Israel to reign eternally. Blank, blank, blank. Them the mighty men of war, O Jerusalem, blank. Be exalted above the heavens, O Lord, and let your glory be above all the earth. Blank.